Picture the greatest footballer who ever lived. Not the one with the most trophies, not the one with the most goals, the one who made you feel something. For most of the world, that image has one face. And it is not Cristiano Ronaldo. That sentence alone will make half the internet furious. Good, because the fury itself is the proof. For 2 decades, the debate has raged. Messi or Ronaldo? Stats or magic? Machine or artist? And somewhere underneath all those numbers, all those Champions League nights, a quieter and far more uncomfortable truth has been building. Ronaldo is arguably the most physically complete footballer the sport has ever produced. He has willed himself into greatness through discipline that borders on inhuman. And yet, when grandchildren ask their grandparents who they loved, the answer will almost always be the same. And it will not be him. This is not a story about goals. It is a story about the difference between being admired and being loved. Camp Nou, 2010. Messi, 23 years old, receives the ball 30 yards from goal. 3 defenders surround him. In the next 4 seconds, he does something nobody in that stadium can explain. He glides. The ball never leaves his foot. The goalkeeper dives the wrong way before Messi has even decided where he is shooting. 200 years from now, coaches will still be showing that clip to children and saying, "We do not know how he did it." Now contrast that with Ronaldo that same year, rising perfectly above a defender and planting a header into the top corner with the precision of a missile strike. The power, the timing, the physical dominance. It is breathtaking. It is almost robotic in its perfection. And therein lies the problem. When you watch Ronaldo score, your first reaction is awe. When you watch Messi score, your first reaction is disbelief. And those 2 reactions produce very different emotions in the human brain. Awe tells you someone has mastered the system. Disbelief tells you someone has broken it entirely. Psychologists call this the difference between admiration and transcendence. And football crowds, across every culture, every continent, respond to one of those things far more deeply than the other. Ronaldo understood the gap. He felt it. And what he did in response is one of the most remarkable stories in sport. He decided that if he could not be transcendent by nature, he would be transcendent by force. He rebuilt his body. He trained when teammates slept. He added heading, refined his free kick, developed his weaker foot. By 2013, he was producing numbers never seen before in football, and the world respected him enormously. But it still did not love him the way it loved Messi. Because humans do not actually love perfection. We love vulnerability. We love the underdog. We love the story of someone who was never supposed to make it, but did. And Messi, despite his genius and his wealth, never quite stopped looking like the boy from Rosario who was told his body was too small for the game he loved. Ronaldo eliminated every trace of vulnerability from his public identity. The celebrations, the physique, the statements about his own greatness delivered with the certainty of a man who has checked the data and confirmed his own conclusion. These things did not make him lesser, but they made him unreachable. And you cannot love what you cannot relate to. There is a moment from the 2014 World Cup that says everything. Messi, carrying a desperately average Argentina squad almost single-handedly, exhausted, visibly drained, still finding moments of brilliance that won matches that should have been lost. Argentina did not win that tournament, but the world fell a little more in love with Messi in defeat than it ever had in any of his victories. Ronaldo left that same World Cup after Portugal's group stage exit. His grief was real. His frustration was visible. But when you have spent years telling the world you are the greatest, the world holds you to exactly that standard. Any gap between the claim and the reality feels like failure. That is the trap Ronaldo built for himself. Not with cynicism, but with the honest expression of a personality that cannot pretend to be smaller than it is. Messi never told you he was the best. He simply made you believe it by making you feel something that no one else could make you feel. Goals can be counted. Trophies can be lifted. Records will be broken by the next generation. But the feeling that ran through a stadium when Messi received the ball in space and began to move, that specific suspended breath moment, cannot be manufactured, cannot be trained into existence, and cannot be replicated by willpower. Alone, Cristiano Ronaldo will be remembered for centuries. But he will be studied the way we study great engineers. With respect, with awe, with gratitude for what he showed us was possible. Messi will be remembered the way we remember music we first heard when we were young. not as a fact, as a feeling. Picture the greatest footballer who ever lived. The world already chose its answer, not because it is statistically correct, but because football, at its truest level, was never about statistics. It was always about that moment when the game made you forget where you were, and for a few seconds, made you believe something impossible had just happened in front of your eyes. Ronaldo made you admire what a human being could become. Messi made you forget a human being was doing it at all. And that is the only difference that ever mattered.